Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my Vulnerably Badass YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about our family trip to Hawaii. The last week, the week before, we took a trip to Hawaii, and it was for my stepson's birthday and also for my Honolulu Marathon. So these are the two main reasons we went to Hawaii. And first incident happened even before we got on the plane to Dallas first. It was my very first experience in my whole life. You know, I took many planes, but to hear that the plane is delayed because the pilot is stuck in the traffic and he's gonna be late for 45 minutes. Like, the plane will be late for 45 minutes. And I'm like, what? He was obviously commuting from like really far away city, and he got in stuck. He got in traffic, and we were like, yeah, we went to Baltimore. That is 1 hour away from our city, and the flight was really early morning flight. So like we woke up like 3 a.m. or something, and we got ready and go. But the pilot is stuck in the traffic, and I'm like, wow, I never heard of it. Luckily, they found probably a pilot from Baltimore area or something, and then the plane took off. We thought it's gonna be earlier, but it ended up the same, 45-minute delay or something. But at the beginning, I was worried because our transit time was really short. But we had just enough time to go to our next gate at Dallas airport, so we didn't miss the second flight. At that point, I was like, it's gonna be okay if I'm gonna miss the flight, and if I cannot get the bib for the marathon, then I'm not gonna run the marathon. I'm okay, because I'm already so satisfied with how I trained myself. So that was something I was telling myself. But it arrived, so I was able to get the bib, and it was okay. So I'm really thankful that it was really thrilling, worrisome, but in the end, everything worked out. And the first night we arrived, we were tired and jet lagged and everything, so we just went to closest Thai restaurant, and we ate there, and the food was good. And Monday no, that was Saturday, and Sunday, that was the race day. So again, I woke up early and ran the marathon from 5 a.m. and I talk about in my different videos. So if you are interested in hearing about my race, you can watch that video. But while I was running the marathon for 5 hours and 30 something minutes, my husband, my stepson, and my son went to Diamond Head to do the little hike and see the view. And I was surprised that my son enjoyed the little hike. Maybe because there were other kids who were like really going up, so he was more motivated. And it seems like he doesn't really like the flat hike, but he enjoys going up kind of like a hill or mountain and looking at the view. So maybe I can take him to another mountain hiking or mountain climbing after this. He did tell me that he enjoyed it. So then for dinner, as a family, we went to eat Japanese ramen, and the closest one, and that was open on Sunday, was Santoka Ramen. So we went there and ate it. And then Monday, what we did was we woke up, and as breakfast, we went to eat Leonard's Malasadas. And I ordered regular sugar one and macadamia cream, because I thought, oh, macadamia cream, I've never had it. But I don't know, it was okay for me. And even the plain sugar one too, it tasted okay. The best malasada I had was the one after the race. Maybe because I ran for 5 hours and 30 something minutes and I was tired. So my body was so happy to eat the sugar. So maybe it tasted good, but actually the, what do you call, the dough was like really chewy and it was so yummy. So I don't know who made that malasada, but the Honolulu Marathon malasada tasted so good. Maybe Leonard's make the malasada, I don't know. And maybe it's just not the actual taste of the malasadas, but it's just my body welcoming malasada more on race day. But anyway, to me, it felt like the race malasada tasted better than Leonard's malasada. Then we drove up to Pali Lookout because we were told that's the thing to do. So we look at the nice view, and it was so windy, but also we learned about the history of Pali Lookout and how that's how the Kamehameha first, King Kamehameha first united the Oahu or islands. So that was nice to read about the history. Then we wanted to go to North Shore, and my stepson told me that there is botanical garden, Ho'omaluhia Botanical Garden, and Birthdaycelebration Temple nearby. So we said, oh, sounds good, let's go. So we went to the botanical garden, and I thought it was nice because it was free, and it seemed like there were tourist people, but also like local people who were doing kind of like a daily walk there. And there was a kind of lake, reservoir or lake, and so it was nice to see a lot of ducks or geese, birds, and ferret, I don't know, ferret looking animal, not squirrel. So we were able to see many different kinds of plants and also different animals and fish. So it was really peaceful and nice. Then we went to Birthdaycelebration Temple. I thought it was just temple, but it was like one area of cemetery area, and I saw church and also Catholic church and Birthdaycelebration Temple, which is Buddhism. So I thought, oh, this is very multicultural and it's really nice. All these different religions, cemetery are existing in one place, and then Birthdaycelebration, it was called Birthdaycelebration, and I was wondering if it's the Birthdaycelebration in Kyoto. And I read the explanation, and it was replica of the Birthdaycelebration in Kyoto. So I visited the one in Kyoto. So it was really nice to see the smaller version of the temple in Hawaii. And the smell of incense was really calming, and also the sound of the big bell that I hear was calming, and I thought it was like, oh, maybe it's cultural things. You know, I grew up in this culture, like this incense and this bell sound make me feel like, I don't know, more peace or calm. And then there was a little pond and fish, and so I felt really tranquil there, and that was a nice experience. Then after that, we just drove along the coast up to North Shore, and we stopped by different beaches, and it was interesting to see like different beaches have different faces and, you know, different waves, and everything was really healing because you see this vast amount of water and sky. But so interesting to see how even each beach changes kind of expression or faces depending on where you are, what you have, or what's around there. And when we got to North Shore, we went to this shrimp truck that was recommended by my friend, Giovanni's shrimp truck. I think it was Giovanni's. And we had this main number one thing, scampi, with 2 scoops of rice, and this shrimp that was cooked with a lot of garlic and olive oil and probably butter too, right? And it was so delicious. And the sauce, the scampi sauce, it's like the amount of garlic they put was so much. But the garlic was, I don't know how they cooked it, but so tender and sweet. So you don't really feel that, spiciness of garlic, but just so sweet and yummy. So the funny thing was, my husband was like, oh, I'm not that hungry, so I don't think I'm gonna eat the whole thing, so let's share. So we ordered one thing and we shared, half of the shrimp. They had 12 shrimps and then 2 scoops of rice, so it was like 6 shrimp for me, for him, and 1 scoop of rice each. And then after we were eating, he was like, oh, this is so yummy. And then he said, let's order extra rice. So it was funny that we ordered just 2 more scoops of rice with a whole bunch of the garlic sauce. But wow, it was really, really tasty, and I would love to go back again if I have a chance. Then we bought aloha shirt and kind of like a island-ish design dress, because my husband wanted to take family picture at one of the beaches. So we bought one for each, whatever we liked. We picked the one we liked and we headed to Sunset Beach. And we saw the beautiful sunset, and while we enjoyed the sunset, we took family picture together with the ocean in our back. Then it was really nice. Then because it was my stepson's birthday, my husband said he wanted to have some steak for dinner. So we went to Morton's and we had a nice steak dinner all together. So that was our Monday. It was very, very special. It was nice birthday with our stepson, and I enjoyed both nature and delicious food. So it was so perfect. And then Tuesday was already our last day. So when we woke up, we packed our stuff and we went to Eggs and Things to have breakfast. And I ordered pancake because pancakes were famous for that. And we had so much whipped cream, which my son enjoyed. My son and I shared because the pancake dish was so big. So we ordered rainbow pancakes, shared together. Then we went to Pearl Harbor. So as a Japanese, it was my first time to go to Pearl Harbor and learn about the real history, because from Japanese perspective, maybe because I wasn't interested in history that much when I was young, or high school, I didn't even go to school. So, and junior high, I didn't really like the subject history, so maybe I didn't read, but we didn't learn about Pearl Harbor as far as I remember. It could be just me, not paying attention, but maybe because I'm from Hiroshima, what I remember as a little child is always about atomic bomb and how we are the victims and how war is not good and nuclear weapons are not good. So visiting the Pearl Harbor was really emotionally very hard to see what Japan did And also the museum was free, and I read many things, but I was surprised. What I was surprised was that they even included Japanese people's videos, you know. And what was so surprising was they were playing the videos about kamikaze pilot survivors. They were like grandpas, but they were speaking in Japanese, and there were subtitles in English and their experience. And I was so surprised that, you know, this is Pearl Harbor Museum, and they are sharing the kamikaze pilots or these Japanese pilots' views and voices. And I thought, wow. And also they had a section about Sadako, who is atomic bomb victim who got leukemia after exposed to radiation, and after suffering for 10 years she died. But while she was hospitalized, she was folding paper cranes, because back then people believed that making 1,000 paper cranes will make your wish come true. So she made it, and she was wishing for health and recovery. So now at Hiroshima Atomic Bomb Museum, it's the kind of, you know, thing that's shown, and many people donate these things from all over Japan or all over the world. And I was surprised to see that paper cranes at the Pearl Harbor exhibition or museum. And again, I was surprised at how different perspectives or different voices or different history or different facts were included in that. It's not just from, you know, Pearl Harbor perspective, and Japanese things were included. So again, I was really touched to see that. And then we went to visit the other side. We went to Battleship Missouri, and because Battleship the Arizona museum was closed, maybe because of COVID, but the Battleship Missouri was open, and I went there, and I didn't know anything about Missouri, and I was surprised to be standing at the site where the Japanese or surrender of the war. And once again, maybe it's me who didn't pay attention to history classes or history information. Maybe, you know, other Japanese people know, but I didn't know that the surrender happened on the battleship of U.S. military in the Tokyo Bay area. And yeah, they were surrounded by all the American military people on the ship, and I was trying to even imagine, like, what was it like? But first of all, I didn't know. So again, there was culture shock, and also there was an area that when the battleship went to Okinawa, they were attacked by this kamikaze plane, and it wasn't really major damage. So what they did, but then the kamikaze pilot died. So what they did was, like, they had special ceremony to put Japanese flag on him, and then I think it was Japanese flag, or yeah, flag on him, and then what is that? Let his dead body go into the ocean. So I was like, wow, you do that to your enemy? And I was again surprised. And then the volunteer person who was explaining that told me that, you know, it was really rare. It wasn't really, you know, it happened often, but sometimes it happened. That kind of thing, like doing the ceremony for your enemy. And again, that was surprise. And there are so many things I can talk about this battleship. Many parts I looked, and then again, another surprising part was they had this kamikaze exhibit in one part of the ship, and once again, like, wow, here it is again, like you kind of like talking more about enemy, and not in the sense like, okay, here are the bad guys, but more like they were showing the letters that the kamikaze pilots wrote and how young they were and things like that. So I didn't really feel kind of like attacking, but more like just showing different their perspective, and I'm so surprised again. But like thinking about all this, maybe because it was down under inside the ship, or maybe because all these traumatic memories from Hiroshima, all the movies or pictures that I saw as a little kid, all these like kamikaze, and thinking about people dying in war, it kind of gave me a kind of panic attack, or almost gave me panic attack, and thinking about what the people in Pearl Harbor had to go through, like so much things to emotions and so much things to process. So I had to kind of let myself detach from the situation, so I couldn't really see the kamikaze exhibit in detail, because if I read more in detail and then more put myself into that situation, I don't know how to deal with myself. So like I needed to kind of sit down and breathe. So it was the kind of feeling that I had when I visited the Space and Aircraft Museum in Smithsonian Museum, and I saw the Enola Gay playing and thought about what the pilot went through, or emotions. So I was like, oh, I can't watch this anymore, and I sat and I took some deep breaths and took a break, and then I finished the rest of the ship. But oh, that was a lot. I still feel a lot of emotions right now, like in my heart. Probably my heartbeat's going up. But yeah, so emotionally it was really a lot, but also I learned a lot. Of course, it's not everything, and I know that I don't know enough about war, Pearl Harbor, or what Japan did, but still it was a great, I think, experience for me to see what's available and learn. And then after that, we were like, oh, where do we want to go? And then we just decided we go back to Waikiki again, because everything is there. So my husband wasn't hungry, so me and my stepson and my son went to Marukame Udon, because I thought it would be just quick and light, and something that I cannot eat in East Coast. So we went there, and there was a long line, but line was moving fast, so it was good. But my stepson told me like it was like 5-minute wait, and my stepson told me he overheard someone saying like this person is so surprised that the line is so short. It's the shortest line he ever saw. So we were like, oh yeah, we are lucky. It looked so long, but the Marukame Udon system is like, everything is already ready. You just order and move forward. So, and people eat udon so quickly. So people moved so fast. So 5-minute wait wasn't bad. And then my stepson tried curry udon for the first time, and he really liked it. And I'm so glad that he tried something new, like Japanese food, and actually liked it. Yeah, I'm so thankful that he had the courage to try something new. And then hearing that he actually liked it kind of made me feel good. And I myself enjoy kamage udon, I visited Shikoku, the area that udon is famous for in my life, and I enjoyed eating Shikoku Sanuki udon. It tastes so good, but Marukame udon was good too. So I was so happy, and my son, of course, likes udon. So like he ate the whole bowl by himself, and then the speed he ate was same as me. Like usually he eats like very slow and little bit. So I was happy. Everyone was happy. And we went to Waikiki Beach and played for a while. Then we went to the Hawaiian cookie companies. I think that's what it's called. And bought cookies for ourselves or for souvenir. And we went to ABC store and got macadamias like souvenirs. And we were ready to say goodbye to Hawaii, so we headed to the airport. So I tried to make this video very short, but it ended up being very long. So thank you so much for watching this video. But our trip was so amazing. It was such a short trip, so I couldn't see everyone that I wanted to see, and because I wanted to focus on my stepson's birthday and family time, you know, I didn't have enough time for my friends. But I'm thankful that my friends were understanding enough. So I hope that someday again I will go back to Hawaii and meet all my friends. But yeah, it was a nice bonding experience as a family, I think, to experience so many new things all together in Hawaii. And my little son, you know, my son said he liked it, and he's after 1 week later he still talks about Hawaii, and he said he wants to go back to Hawaii. So that makes me so happy, because Hawaii is a special place for me. It's the first international trip I took when I was 14, and first place I did my study abroad. So I'm so happy that my son liked Hawaii, and my stepson had a great birthday. And I'm thankful that my husband planned the trip with me and brought the family to Hawaii. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.